G'day, I'm Dan.
And I'm Kristy, and we call Canberra our home.
We work, we parent, contribute to our community, living the Australian suburban dream.
With 4 kids, a dog, 2 businesses, large extended family, friends scattered all over the globe, we struggle at times.
But we do it all by embracing the crazy. And this helps us laugh, smile, cry, and brings meaning to our lives.
So join us and share the journey of our modern Australian family madness and embrace the crazy.
So today we're going to talk about saying no.
It's a hard
It's
one,
something
Dan.
you say a lot as a parent, isn't it?
Very much, very much. And it can be quite soul-destroying for your children.
And it really challenges you as a parent as well, doesn't it? Like, because you don't want to be the no person all the time.
Definitely not. And I struggle with this because you're the yes guy and I'm the no lady. So it's something that's really close to my heart. And I thank you for bringing this topic to everyone's attention.
So I'll just do the intro and then that's about it for today. And you can talk to the rest. Is that how this works? I'll just have fun in the background.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what we wanted to talk to today, isn't it? We wanted to talk a little bit about the things that we say no to, why we say that, and the benefits of it, and what that means for our kids and for us as well. Like, yeah, it's hard, and yeah, it means it causes confrontation, but at the same time, it actually creates better outcomes sometimes, doesn't it? And also creativity. You know, you think differently.
Yep.
And resilience, and so many other benefits that, you know, it's something that we have to do, and it's something that we do very regularly because it's just part of being a parent. Is you provide guidelines and you help with that, and sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right, but it's really a key starting point for helping our kids, with making good decisions, learning, respect, and many other aspects of life.
And I'm just going to bring up a very up-to-date example, Dan, of me saying no the other night. Dan was out playing tennis and the kids wanted to play wrestles at 7:30. I'm like, no, we're not playing wrestles, guys. This isn't how we do things. Our youngest was really tired. We'd had a huge day. I'd had a huge day. And I put my foot down. I'm like, no, it's not happening. I said, it's quiet time. You can go and play a quiet game. We're not playing wrestles. That's just ridiculous. And the next thing, while I was putting our daughter to bed, next thing the boys are playing this game of golf with a crutch, a pair of crutches that they found and a handball. And they were using lots of things to create this golf course around the house. It was brilliant. It was amazing, and it was that they were loving it. They were quiet. They weren't, I know they were doing something that was still active, but it wasn't like they were wrestling. So you said creativity before, Dan, and that just really hit home to me about what happened the other night. Of they had to think about something that they could do, it was still challenging for them, and still, got enough energy out, but was quiet, and it gave them a chance to do something else that they haven't done before, which I think is fantastic.
And they love it. And I know that over the last few nights they've been asking me to play. And when they first said, I want to play golf, I thought, oh, man, there goes our weekend. And then when they started telling me about the story, I thought, how awesome is this? It's just so fantastic. So there is huge benefits to thinking differently. And, I mean, let's be honest, life is all about no's, isn't it? You hear no all the time. And it's hard to hear. I know in business we hear it lots, and it is hard because you kind of take it personally, and you take it about, is it me? Is it what I do? But I guess the more and more you kind of practice this, and it's not about saying we say it all the time, but it's about being firm that it does happen, and it should happen, and we don't want to always be saying yes to our kids, because then it builds this expectation that that's how life is, and I get my own way, and I always hear yes. And when I hear no, I don't like it. And I'm not going to be happy about it.
And I think it's an important part of growing up, and it's an important part of learning about life, because, as you said, you hear no at work all the time. in my work situation, I hear no. You hear no all the time. It's not like we get the green light to go ahead with everything that we want to do at work or as an adult. There's certain things that need to be done before you can do other things. So I think it's an important lesson, a life lesson around helping our kids to understand and accept that no is an okay word as well.
And I, as a parent, Kristy, I don't know about you, but I find it hard to say no. And you know this, but I really do. There would be so many times where I think I'm exhausted. We've had this huge weekend. We've done all these things to the kids, and I'll come and ask, hey, can we go and play, or can we go and do this? And I don't want to say no. And I don't want to say no because of lots of reasons. One of the reasons is that that's their time and that's our time to play and have fun. And so I want to be able to do it. And I struggled with it at the start a lot. I really did find it a big challenge. But then I started to learn that it'll be okay. They're not going to fall apart if you say no. They'll actually just pretty quickly go and say, okay, I can't play. And, I know our daughter will often ask, hey, I want to play this. And it happens always at these really hard times. And, I always feel like, yeah, I do want to play. But then sometimes you just got to say no. And I always find that she walks away as if you haven't even said anything. And I always think, oh, it's going to hurt her. And it looks like I'm not being a great parent and supporting her, and she's going to think badly. But then she just walks away and then goes and does her own thing. And then, 10 minutes later, you see her playing something else, and you think, wow, that's really impressive. And I love what you're doing. Great work.
And as you said, it's not our kids' reaction that's the main problem. It's our own thoughts and our own feelings about how that saying no is going to impact everybody else. And you're still really bad at it, Dan, let's be honest. You hate saying no, and you still need to work on it. And I probably need to work on saying yes a bit more because, I'm very much the cranky, no, we're not doing that, don't have time, blah, blah, blah. And that was another thing we were going to touch on was time. How do you say, you can't say yes to everything because we only have a finite period of time in a day. And sometimes it's not no, the conversation, it's no, not yet, or no, not now. So I think that's a small difference, but I think it's an important one. I will often use no, we're not doing that now, but later, let's do that. And that always makes them feel like I've heard what they've said and I've acknowledged what they want to do, and then we can come back to it because, as you said, it comes at the most inopportune times when I'm, elbow deep in washing up water and, organising dinner and Mum, can we do this? Well, not really. Not now, but we'll do it. We'll set aside some time for tomorrow. And I think that's an important difference.
I think that's a really good call out because you're right. It does really comfort the response, doesn't it? When you say, because they have an understanding. They know you're busy. They know lots is on. So it really does help. And it also helps us be able to say no confidently and go, it's not the end of the world. We will be able to do this later, but right now that's not going to happen, and you're going to go and do what you want to do. But I'm not going to be involved, or we can't do that now. But we'll do it at a different time. And you got to stay true to it, though, don't you? Like I think this is a real hard thing with parents is really keeping yourself honest and keeping to what you say you're going to do because they'll call you out. And I get called out regularly, right? Like I think I get called out a lot on this, but you've got to really follow through.
Yeah, and they won't remember things you told them 5 minutes ago, but they'll remember like 3 weeks ago you said that we'd do this, and now I'm cashing that in, Mum. Come on, let's go. But also, Dan, it's building resilience, and we've spoken about this a lot, and I think it's a really important skill that we can teach our children, that we want to be able to, for our children to leave home and use that resilience in other areas of their lives. So this is a huge thing for us, is that building of resilience, and saying no is a great way of building resilience in the kids, or no, not yet, or no, not now. So I think that's the most important thing about saying no. It's, teaching them delayed gratification and teaching them, yes, it's okay for someone to tell you no. And also, no means no sometimes.
All the time, yeah. But and another great example that I think of regularly that used to happen and now doesn't, and this, I talk about this example a lot with playing with the cousins, And at the start, I would often get asked to be involved and can we do this? And I would often say just no. No, I'm speaking to my sister or my brother-in-law, whoever, but you've got all your cousins, so go and play. Go and do that, and 10 minutes later you'll see them having the greatest time, having fun, playing with each other, and you think, okay, wow, they've bounced back very fast there, and they're really, really excelling, and that was the right answer for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting topic, and it gives your kids the creativity to go and find something to do themselves or work it out for themselves. No, I can't do that right now. I can't help you right now. Can you find somebody else to help you? Can you think about a different way of trying to work out this problem? And it's not just, we're not just saying no to things to do. We're saying no to, well, no, I can't help you tie your shoelaces. You should be able to do it yourself, or you can just wait. So it's not always about saying no for the reason of saying no, or saying no because we're too busy, or saying no because we don't have the capacity. It's also character building to say no to your kids sometimes. So I think that's a tricky one to try and navigate.
So as someone who's very experienced in saying no, Kristy, how did you build up the ability to be able to do that, particularly when you've got multiple kids coming and asking you, and friends and partner and many other aspects of life? Like, I know you're quite hard and strong and direct, but I'm interested in what do you do to help do that and then be able to justify that it's okay and the right thing?
That's an interesting question. I was having this conversation with someone at work yesterday, actually, and I, as you said, I'm very strong and assertive. You might have used other words, but I'm going to use the word assertive, and I'm very mindful of my own self-care and my own what I need to be able to do during the day. And so I actually think, Dan, it's come a lot with getting older and maturing and being able to be very aware of my presence and myself in the environment and in social situations, and being very clear about what I want to get out of a situation. And so rather than thinking I'm just saying no, or I don't want to, oh sorry, I'm going to have to say no, I'm not going to do that because this doesn't fit with what's going on in my family at the moment, or it doesn't fit with where I want to go or what my goals are. And I actually think I've gotten so much better at saying no, and not saying sorry, no, I can't, just saying no, I can't do that. And I think that you've actually helped me a lot with that, Dan, because you've shown me how to be an assertive person and not get my own way, but advocate for myself.
Oh, that's really interesting. I think you're really good at it. That's my reflection, and I've learnt lots from how you're good at it. And I think you made a really interesting point that I really agree with, is that, and we've talked about this a little bit before, but it really does connect in well with this theme around no, which is you got to be your best self, and you got to bring your best self forward. And that means you got to look after yourself. You got to give yourself the right things. Got to be able to achieve the things that you need to do, whether it's getting all the housework done or whatever it needs to be, to make sure that things are in the right zone for life. And that comes at a cost. And sometimes that means you've got to say no, or you can't do things. But I get they might not understand it in the moment, but they understand it long term. And you don't say no all the time. It's not 100% of the time.
No.
It's just sometimes.
Yeah.
And it really makes it better for you. And that's the thing that I've learned a lot from you, I think, is that part of, you got to, I used to just give everything, and I probably still do a little bit, but I'm getting better at saying, no, I've got to sort myself out here first, or I've got to put this first. And, I love your examples of being able to say, no, not now, or no later, whatever the extra is, because it's still a yes, in the feelings of saying it, but at the same time, you're able to do what you need to do, or what is important for you at the time. This is such a hard area as a parent, because, you want to be the everything. You want to do the everything. You want, and you see others doing it, right? You see other parents that are doing it and are just really good at it, and you think, far out, like, how do they do all that? And how do they always, always get everything done and help everyone out and always say yes to all these things? And you think, oh gosh, I can't believe they can do that. But, at the same time, I think being able to have that structure and that rigor and that assertion that you're referring to, it's more valuable for your kids, isn't it?
Definitely. And it shows, it's, we talk about this all the time, a good example that you're setting for your kids, showing them that, what you do matters and how you interact with people matters and how you stand up for yourself matters. I think that's really important. And right now, Dan, I'm going to say, no, we have to finish this podcast because I need to go and pick up the kids from school. So I'm going to use
just was going to ask before you go.
Oh.
You said you'd say yes to a few things, and there's a dirt bike that I'm thinking about, and I just thought I'd ask you right now to see whether that was a yes or a no.
Yeah, mate, not yet.
Very good. Very, very good. You're very experienced at it. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for all the support. Let us know if you have any comments, feedback. Please share with your friends, and thanks for all your support. Have a great day.
See you, everyone.
Bye.